Hi, welcome back. Welcome to our second part of our two-part learning video, Wix On-Site SEO, how to rank your Wix website in Google and the partner network. In our first video, we discovered your mega tags, H1 tags, H2 tags, H3 tags, what those are, and how that relates to your search results. We also talked about on-page content, how important that is, and not just to have keywords scattered all over the place to try to boost your search results, but more importantly, providing good quality content that reads well. Remember, what Google is looking for when they search your website, when they rank your website, is having relevant content that is of value to that searcher's keyword or phrase, the product or service that they're looking for. So content is very important. We also talked about the pictures and making sure that your pictures are also tagged. In other words, your pictures have your alt titles so they can be searched with Google as well also. So if you have not seen that first video, I would recommend you go to the description section of this video. I have provided a link there, so that way you have a good understanding of where we're going to begin today. Now today, as we get started, we're going to get into the page settings within Wix. We're going to talk about your URL titles, we're going to talk about your page titles, we're going to talk about the page descriptions, how to put in the appropriate keywords and key phrases to boost your search engine results, and again, how that relates back to providing quality content on that page. We will also get into some of the tools that you'll find within Wix, within the Wix editor, within the Wix dashboard, to also help you implement a great SEO strategy. We'll show you how to use those and give you an example. Then finally, we'll also take a look at some of the apps that are available in the app market that you could also use to help you boost your SEO rating. And one more, we'll even show you some live sites that have implemented these strategies that we're talking about, and you will see how they're placing with Google and what type of results they're getting. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video. Happy Googling. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to pick up as stated. We're going to get into the actual page settings. Here's an actual website that we completed the design and development for about a week ago. We're now going to begin the SEO implementation for this site. So we're going to take you through this, look at the settings, and see how we would actually implement that strategy. Now, first off, again, you would need to be logged into the Wix editor for your Wix website. Once you're logged into the editor, we're going to go here to the actual pages. We're going to begin with the home page. The nice thing about Wix is as we implement the strategy on the home page, through the page settings, we can also do that for each one of the pages as well. So let's begin with home. We're going to click on page setting. We're going to go to page SEO. Now there's three things that we want to concentrate on, or three areas that we want to concentrate on. One, we want to concentrate on the page title, which will be here. We also want to concentrate on the page URL, which is here. And then we also want to concentrate on the page description as well, which is here. So let's begin with the page title. Now with the page title, this is what Google is going to use to determine what this website is all about and its relevance as it relates to a searcher's keyword or phrase. Now this particular site, if we go back here for a second, now this site is Smart Home Designs. So obviously they provide smart home automation solutions and services. As you look through the website here, just to kind of give you an idea, it shows you the types of different products they provide. Let's just go on a preview real quick so we can get a better view. So as we look here in the preview, they provide smart home technology, lighting control, motorized window treatment, media control, energy management, climate control. So these would be considered their primary keywords, right? Because that's their primary services they provide. And home automation is the primary phrase that those services fit under. So it could be whole home automation, as you see here, by doing a little research on Google keywords, keyword planner. We also see the smart home system actually ranks higher than whole home automation, home automation system, smart home technology. Those are some of the keywords and phrases that we want to make sure we implement. So let's go back to the editor. Okay, and we're going to again go back to page settings. Good. Let's try that again. Page settings, page SEO. All right, so let's do our page title. So our page title, one, we want to brand the company. So the company name is Smart Homes of South Florida. So let's go ahead and put that in first so we can brand the company. So we want to make sure, of course, if somebody's searching for the company itself or the brand itself, that they can find it. All right, so we have that in there. The next thing we want to do is we want to put in the key phrase that describes this page, that describes this site. What is it about? Now, what would be, let's say, the #1 search phrase for their particular product? Well, that #1 search phrase is going to be smart home systems. So let's put that in there. Smart home systems. Since they are a local business, we also want to put their local market. Their primary local market is Fort Lauderdale. So let's put Smart Home Systems, Fort Lauderdale. We could spell it correct. All right. So we branded the company, so we have Smart Homes of South Florida, and we have Smart Home Systems Fort Lauderdale. So if someone's searching for a smart home system in Fort Lauderdale, then this page would be indexed for that. And with the other things that we would do, we would make sure that we can manage this towards the top of the search results. So that's step one. The next thing we want to do is we also want to put in a page description. Now, as it relates to SEO, as it relates to Google page ranking, your page description is not a direct factor in the page's ranking in the search results. Not direct, but indirect, and let me explain that. So I can put all the keywords and phrases in there that I want. It's still not going to affect the search result. However, I want to make sure that this description is going to be a motivating sentence, a motivating paragraph that gives a good view of what the user will find on this page, that would motivate that viewer to want to click on that link to find out more about the page. Again, I mentioned it's not a direct factor, but it's indirect. Meaning, if I can put a great motivating description in there, a call to action, you know, like find out more, or schedule an appointment, or view our products now, or whatever that case may be, the more people that click on that link based on that search phrase or that keyword, then the more relevance it will begin to build for that particular keyword or phrase and begin to rank higher. So again, it's not a direct effect on SEO, but it is indirect. Because if I can get people to click on that link because they're motivated to do so, and more people are doing so, it's going to boost my SEO ranking. Now, the trick is you want to make sure that when they do go to the site, that they are finding actual relevant content related to that, so they will stay on the page. And we'll talk more about that as well, too, when we talk about user interaction or user clicks. So again, you want to put a very motivating paragraph in there with the call to action, driving them to do something. If you look at the information bubble, it even tells you can put anywhere between 50 to 160 characters in that particular space. So next, when we go down, you'll see there's a paragraph or a section here that says page keywords. Google no longer uses this parameter as a search result, so you can leave that section blank. Again, it's going to be using your page title, right? Your page description will appear, so you want to make sure that's prominent. It is also good practice to put those primary keyword or phrase within the description, because remember, that's what that user had searched for in order to get a result. So if that keyword or phrase that they search for is in the description, then they're also more likely to click as well. The next factor that is very, very important is also the page's URL. Now, the URL is a ranking factor, the page URL. So again, we had talked a little earlier, one of the primary search phrases for this type of business is home automation system. So we have home automation system here, and we have smart home systems here. So we have both of those that relate together, which is important. So those are the elements for our on-page SEO settings that we want to put in place. Again, I can't emphasize enough how important this description section will be to, again, drive traffic to the website itself. And here you would actually have a preview of the title, a preview of the description as well. And once you have set that up, you would click Done. Right? Let's take a look at another page as well. Let's go, for example, to energy management. Now again, the process is the same. However, it's obviously going to be different. So on our page title, right, you might want to do a couple of things here. So on our page title, we've already kind of branded the business name itself and our home page. So maybe let's utilize this to put a couple of different primary phrases in there. So let's, for example, put smart home systems, or let's put home automation. Let's do that. So we're going to put home automation. And we're going to put, remember this page, what is this page about? This page is about energy management, right? So let's put home energy management, all right? Because energy management can mean several different things, right? We don't want it to come up under, you know, Florida Power and Light, for example. So home energy management. So we want to be a little more specific. And again, let's see if we have space to put Fort Lauderdale in there too, since that is our primary market. All right, and we do. Again, we're going to put a description, and the description is going to be specific to this particular page. So this description for this page should be about home energy management, its value, and remember that call to action, also known as a CTA. So you want to motivate that searcher to click on the page by giving them some type of benefit, some type of call to action, you know, find out more, schedule a home energy review today, whatever that case may be for this particular business. Remember, the keywords for the page, right, is not relevant anymore. Our page URL is relevant. Well, this definitely is in climate control, so we want to get rid of that. So remember, this is energy management. So this is going to be home energy management. So that's going to be our page URL. So we got home energy management as the URL. We have our description, and we also have our page title. You don't really want to duplicate things too much. You don't want to give Google the impression that you're just trying to throw keywords in there. So let's do smart home energy management. Let's change it a little bit. Oops. Yeah, let's go here. So smart home Looks like I left out some of the spaces there, and management. Here we go, and done that. So that setting you would want to go through on each one of the pages. Again, each one of the pages is going to be unique, as each one of the pages is going to talk about a particular product and our service. So very important that you do implement it that way. A quick recap of what we've just learned. We took a look within the Wix editor of how to set up the SEO settings for each page. We looked at how to set up the page title, how to make sure that if we're looking to brand the company, to make sure that company name is there, and also to make sure we implement that primary keyword or key phrase. To determine what that primary keyword or phrase should be, remember we can use Google Keyword Planner to find out in our local market what word or what phrase is getting the best results, is getting the most traffic, to make sure, again, we utilize that best phrase or best keyword. We also talked about the page description, how that page description may not be a direct or have a direct effect on your SEO ranking, but definitely has an indirect effect and has a direct effect on your overall results, which is the most important thing. So you want to make sure that it's a good written paragraph that describes the product or service that's being ranked for, that also has a strong call to action to motivate that searcher to go to the site, to want to find out more, to drive that engagement. And the more engagement you get on that keyword or phrase, that does positively affect your search engine ranking. And we also talked about the URL title and how to use the appropriate keyword or phrase within that title. So again, very important. The next thing we'll get into, we're going to take a look in the dashboard, as we talked a little bit earlier, and take a look at some of the on-site SEO settings that we can use to make sure that we're doing things correctly. All right, now we're within the Site Manager of the Wix dashboard for Smart Homes, the site that we're working on. And in the Site Manager, we're going to go down to SEO. SEO, search engine optimization, these are tools within Wix we can use to make sure that we can get optimal results on our organic rankings. Now, the very first thing you're going to see here is SEO status. This section, or this button right here, is what allows the search engines to include the site in the results as indicated here. So, very important, you want to make sure that button is on. If it's off, as you see now with the red X, that means no matter how good a job you're doing on your on-site SEO, it's going to be for naught because it won't be registered. So you need to go ahead and make sure that that's on. Now, the reason that's here, you could be working on the site. Maybe you have not connected the domain yet, so you don't want the search engines to index or to rank the site under a free domain, right? Or maybe you don't have the pictures and things in place, so you want it to be indexed. You don't want it to be registered until the site is complete and ready for public view. So once that would be the case, that's when you would turn this on. So that's the reason it's there. Below that, you have your SEO settings as well too for your SEO titles, descriptions, and keywords. This basically would take you back to what we've done before in the page editor to set up those tools that we talked about. So just a quick link to remind you that will take you back there. The next thing we're going to take a look at is actually the SEO wizard that's provided by Wix, a great tool. Before I click on that, you'll see some more SEO settings here. We'll get into this in our next training video when we talk about off-site SEO, but just briefly, these are some of the tools that you can utilize for your mega tags. For example, if you need to put in like your H1 code to verify or to prove that you're the owner of the site, for things like Google Analytics or Pinterest or Bing Webmaster, for example. They want to verify ownership before you can utilize some of those tools. And there's also manage your redirects. Again, these are some of the things we'll talk about in our next series, on-site or off-site SEO. So let's now go into the Wix SEO wizard. Now, this wizard is going to allow you to put in keywords or key phrases to see how your site is ranking, or not ranking, excuse me, to see how that keyword or key phrase is implemented properly within the website. So as you see, we already have in here home automation. So we want to make sure that that primary keyword is set up throughout our page properly. So we have home automation, and all we would have to do is just type that in. So it was already there, but because we had checked it before. And we're going to click Get Report. And it does it for you right away, which is nice. So it's going to break it down into sections. It's going to break it down in your title. It's going to break it down in description. It's going to break it down in content and image. These 4 elements that you can control. Now, as it relates to that primary keyword, home automation, it's telling us that great, first of all, our title is the correct length. It's not too short, not too long. And great that the title does contain home automation. Description, remember that was description that we put in place. It does show that great, the description is the right length, and great that home automation is included in the description of the page of the site as well. The content on the page, search phrase home automation, it does appear on the page text. Tip, adding the search phrase to the headline of the page will also help rank it as well too. So we can make sure home automation is in the title or the headline of the page, that H1 tag as an example. Images, it found a total of 18 images on the home page. It's letting us know that to improve our search ranking for that particular phrase, that we should add as part of the as part of the alt tag, that phrase to those images that it's related or relevant to. So we can then take this information into consideration. We can go back to make those adjustments to let us know that we've done this properly. And then we can search additional words. We can get a new report and search other words as well. So for example, let's put, we put home automation there. Let's put smart home system or smart home. Let's do that. Let's see how that one's doing. Now remember, we're just beginning here, so this is the beginning of it. And again, the same thing, the title. So the title looks good. The description looks good. All right, page content looks good. Again, gives us some tips that we can use and read more about that. And the images as well, right? So we're looking good there. So I would definitely take your time. I would go through this tool, jot down those things that you can improve, go back, make sure that what you're changing is, of course, relevant to the particular page or to the site. So, now that we've discussed on-site SEO, we talked about how to set up the appropriate content, we talked about your keywords, your key phrases, your page titles, your page descriptions, your URL titles, your alt tags. We talked about all these things, what they are, how to implement them, and their importance. So let's now give you a live example. As my dear old dad used to say, the proof is in the pudding. So let's take a look. And we're actually going to use our website as an example. You would expect us to be able to do well. Now, we're in the Miami market, which is very competitive. Our office is located in Miami Lakes. So let's use that as a tool. So the first word we're going to search for, let's take a look here. Let's search for, we are a web design company, and we also do web design training, SEO, and SEO training as well too. So let's go Miami Lakes web site designer. Right? Let's try that. So Miami Lakes website designer. Let's see, as you see, I am not logged into Google, so this is just an open search, meaning my history won't have a direct effect on that. So as we look at the search results, you will see the first things we see are ads. When you look at Google, it's broken into a couple of different sections. You have your ads, meaning individuals are paying to be there, which can be a great strategy, and we'll talk about that in another video. Then we are looking at our free results. Right? We have Google Maps. which of course is a great strategy and it's free. And in Google Maps, you'll see that we're right here. So we are actually the second one listed there. Right. And you can click to go to our website. You can click to get directions. So definitely want to find yourself in Google Maps. And that's part of that off-site SEO that we'll discuss in our next video. And then here in organic, right? Now you'll see that we're right here in the organic listing. Right? You see our page title that's there. Right? You see our description that's there. Right? And of course, click and that'll take you to our website itself, of course. All right. So let's take a look at another result. Let's go Google again. And this time, again, we provide training. So let's say Miami Lakes web design classes, website design classes, right? Website designer classes. There we go. Somebody looking to become a web designer. So again, we have our paid ads. So every time someone clicks on this, it gets paid. We have our organic results, and you'll see that we're the very first one here under organic results, all right, for the map, and the very first one also for organic SEO as well, too. So let's broaden it a little bit, right? Miami Lakes, that's our primary local market. So let's take it huge now. Miami, of course, being one of the most competitive markets in the world. So let's go Miami website designer classes. Let's search that. And let's see how those that SEO implementation on our Wix website, how that's going to rank us in a market like Miami, one of the most competitive in the world, and under website design classes. So let's take a look. Here we have our paid results. All right. And here the very first organic is Institute of Web Design. Above University in Miami, the Art Institute, and top schools in Miami. So as you see, by implementing the tools properly within your Wix website, it can give you some great results, which in turn can give you great traffic to your website, and then having the appropriate content on your website, having a great service of great value that's illustrated, can then affect, of course, the bottom line, which again is more business, more profitability, a higher return on investment. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Again, this was the second of our two-part learning video, Wix On-Site SEO, how to rank your Wix website in Google and Search Network. So we discussed a lot of information for you. Please feel free to watch the video as many times as you like and to practice on your own Wix website as well. Now, in our next video series, we'll be discussing off-site SEO and several different elements that are in place there to help you improve your search engine results. Our third series will then be on user clicks, user engagement, how that affects your SEO ranking as well. So there's really a lot involved in SEO, but again, just take it one step at a time. If you have any questions regarding SEO or web design with Wix, our email address is located here. Please feel free to reach out to us at any time. If you need assistance with your SEO or assistance with web design, please feel free to reach out to us as well. So again, hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to getting your comments. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel. We'll be coming out with a lot of additional content based on your feedback. So happy Googling, happy positive results. Until next time.